Live a dangerous life, bumblebees, here. Amongst the heather. Because the heather is laid with traps. And the traps being the orb webs of Arrhenius quadratus, which we've featured before. Here on Sherwood Heath, Arrhenius quadratus is by far the dominant species of the three big orb weavers, which are Arrhenius diadematus, which is your garden cross spider, and Arrhenius marmorius, which we've yet to show you. And there's one that's been trapped in a web, and the one I've just been filming is now trapped itself. And the ones on the heather are usually in that colour. You can just bend that back a little bit. They are absolutely beautifully marked. They're a cracking spider. I love them. I must admit, I destroy hundreds of webs by walking through the grass, but they'll build a fresh one tonight. But the remarkable thing about spiders is that they will willingly destroy a web after a couple of days and will eat the silk. And presumably it's almost like reusable. If man could create a material with the strength and elasticity of spider silk, it really would, you might not believe this, but it really would revolutionise the world. But they'll never do it. As you watch this large female, same colour, look. I've seen a nice deep orange one, and say on docks they can be purple. Fabulous things. And here is garden cross spider, Arrhenius diadematus. There's an interesting thing you probably never noticed about spiders' webs on vegetation. If I struggle on my knees to work my way around, when they're in the web, the spider, the underside of the spider is always facing outwards. As is the case on this one. And the reason is that flies, bees, whatever, fly into the web from the outside. And if the spider was on the outside, it wouldn't be so easy to catch hold of the prey. Whereas when the spider's on the inside of the web, it's much easier. So there we are. A beautiful plant, as in Calluna vulgaris, attracting insects to their deaths. Although the plant doesn't know that. And here we are on Sherwood Heath, the scene of death on a daily basis. There's a web here under construction. All the spokes are in place and the centre of the web is there. The web won't show up very well. So who lives in a web like this? Well, one of the big three orb weavers, who hopefully will stay still. And here she is. This is Arrhenius diadematus, the One of our most familiar spiders is common in your gardens, providing you've got some kind of vegetation in it. And this is often known as the garden spider or the garden cross spider. Obviously named because of the cross-like pattern on the abdomen. And at the moment, it looks like she's putting in another spoke to the web. I'll give you an idea of the web. There's the top of the web, and the bottom of the web is down there. So she's still got some work to do. I was hoping it might be the web of Aranius marmorius, but it's not. And these garden spiders are doing something that I've not seen them do before, and that's dropping out of the web. A lot of construction work going on. Seems that Sherwood Heath is full of death traps. Spiders' webs on every bush and in the grass. But also these. These are prolific everywhere at the moment. And if you're an insect of any kind and you walk too close, especially on the night time, you'll be grabbed and taken down to your death. Because these are the near vertical shafts of the green tiger beetle larvae, which on an evening will come up to the surface or just below the surface, and then as soon as anything walks close enough to the entrance, they rush out, grab it, down it goes. To be honest, I've never seen so many in one small area as this. Always on bare ground. Common beetle, green tiger beetle. Showed it in a couple of videos in the spring. So, not only have you got to be careful when you're flying, you've also got to be careful where you walk. It's a dangerous life being an insect. I spoke a fair bit this morning on this video about Nottinghamshire's big three orb weaving spiders. We've already seen Aranius quadratus, which is sometimes called the four-spotted orb weaver, I believe, and then we saw Aranius diadematus, which is the garden cross spider, and now, to complete the trio, we have this one, which is Aranius marmorius, and this is an immature of the variety pyramidata. So you'd write it down, Aranius marmorius variety pyramidata. Now, if this stays as it is, when it grows, it will be sulphur yellow. It'll still have that sort of elongated black triangular marking on them, and they are an absolute stonking spider, beautifully marked. It's hard to imagine spiders being bright sulphur yellow, but if this stays and say as another molts out into adult and it's still a variety pyramidata, then it's a beautiful thing. But the normal Aranius marmorius is fabulously patterned, and it's almost like a paisley pattern, but really intricate and beautifully coloured. We found a specimen on here a few years ago that was pinks and purples and bits of yellows and whites. It was the most amazing thing. And these have quite orange legs. If we can, there we go. Look. Another large orb weaver when mature. Females, like all the orb weavers, can have an abdomen bigger than a 5p piece. Makes you wonder how the abdomen doesn't drop off. So we'll keep an eye on this and we'll come back in a couple of weeks. I'll see if we can find her again. In the meantime, I'll have a look on this patch, because these are the first two that I've seen today, so there may well be more on these thistles.